Hey there, how you doing today? Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Um, all right. So today we are gonna be doing some digital art. It's actually gonna be a voiceover. I just wanted to do the intro in person because my last video, was no face koi, and I had a lot of fun making the talking head video. Way too much fun. So we're doing. Ooh, that was terrible. So we're doing digital art today, and I don't have a lot of experience in digital art, but I wanted to do it because while I do love painting and it is my primary medium, I don't always have the energy and the time to dig out the paints and to get water and to get the palette ready and to move everything off of my desk. It's a lot of work, and then I have cats, so especially if I'm using like oil paints, I have to then keep that painting somewhere where it can't get wet or get cat hair on it for 2 weeks minimum. Sometimes a couple of months to cure, depending on the colors I use. And that's just not always feasible. Especially when I want to do something like a study, like I want to do like a study on hands. I'm trying to learn how to draw hands. That's a lot of work for something that I am not going to like and that I'm going to want to trash later on. So I decided that I would do digital work, and I actually haven't done digital art in months, honestly. So I thought, let's do some studies, let's do some really easy stuff, and I went for fruit. I really love painting still lifes. It's something that I do when I'm trying to relax. So we're doing some fruit today. That's enough rambling. Let's get into the video. Sorry for all the ums. I'm not good at speaking, apparently. Hey, it's Editing Koi. I realized after I recorded every voiceover section of this video that I did not go in and manually change the audio input from my computer to the mic. So the sound quality is not that good because it's using the system microphone on my MacBook. So sorry, I'll do better next time. I learned to check this time. Um, that's all. Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna need you guys to be nice to me because I've never recorded a voiceover before, so I have to do this a lot of times. Basically, I'm just gonna describe what my thought process was during this for you. So the first one was a pear, and I'm gonna put the fruit up in the corner for you. I tried to sketch it out. I've actually painted a pear before, so this wasn't something like new that I had ever done. Like everyone's painted a pear at some point. It's a very, I wouldn't say it's an easy fruit, but like you can see me here struggling. I'm trying to like get the shape of the pear down. And I think where I failed here, and you'll see me do it later, is I didn't make myself a color palette beforehand. It's really important to like pre-mix your lights and your darks, but like I said, I haven't done digital art in a long time, so I was just kind of at a loss for what to do here. And I was getting kind of frustrated because the brush was mimicking oil, but it doesn't work like oil because it's not. It's a digital brush. But I tried to lay in like the shadows and all of that. I don't think it's terrible. It's definitely not the best one of the four, in my opinion. I don't know which one that is, but it's not this one. Um, but yeah, I do end up, in hindsight, liking the way that this one turns out. It's very impressionist, I guess. I just think that the other ones are better. Here you can see me trying to put in the highlights to like kind of give it shape, but I spent a bunch of time on this stem. I just didn't know what I was doing, and I was very frustrated. And the brush also like gets bigger the longer you hold it down. So I would set it like a size that I wanted, and then it wouldn't work. So maybe I just need to find a better brush that I like. If you use Procreate and there's like a preset brush that's free that you like, let me know because I was struggling clearly. Okay, this one was a little bit easier to get the form. Getting the texture right was very hard, but the form was easy because it was just a piece of watermelon. You're going to see that very fast. And I did actually learn like, oh, I'm not setting myself up for success. This is the shortest one of all of them. Very fast. The values are very easy. It was just easier, and I feel like I did a better job this time than I did with the pear. You can see me like steadily improve through these. So I'm laying in, I'm like blending to try and get that effect from where the fruit grows up into the rind, and then I'm adding highlights to make it look more three-dimensional. Highlights really make or break a piece, I found, especially with a painterly style. But yeah, this one was pretty self-explanatory. You lay in the colors. We're moving on to the pumpkin. So I tried to do the circular part first, and I very quickly found out that that wasn't going to work. So I moved on to the stump, and then I built the pumpkin based on the stump. And then it comes to life once you start drawing in the little divots in the pumpkin. Pumpkins, I showed this piece to my coworkers, like this study, and somebody said that the pumpkin looked like it was the hardest. But I think that things that are more have more crevices in them are actually easier to draw because as you can see there's a lot of places for me to do a difference in light and dark, and it's easier for the form to come to life because it's not a smooth shape. So I'm laying in the shadows, and this is just the rough stuff. I go in a bunch of times and make them darker, make them lighter, blend it out more. I learned at this point that I should just be using the same brush that I'm drawing with also to blend. I don't know why that took me so long. I really do like the light values in this. This looks very three-dimensional, especially from like far away. Like I'm looking at the thumbnail right now and it looks really good. Adding in some more darks, I realized that this area over here should be even darker because it's very far away from the light. And then going in with the green, I color selected for this green for so long. I tried so hard. Adding in the darks, I needed more darks apparently. And then this is kind of like a washed out green. I actually had to do a different color selector for this because it was like, I wanted it to be more yellow, and that's not easy to do on a wheel. Okay, so this pepper, I feel like this one was pretty easy. The hardest part in drawing something as smooth as like a pepper is trying to decide how, like where to put shading, because if you put too much shading, it's not going to look smooth. You can see I pre-selected all of my colors here. Very smart of me. You want it to look 3D, but you don't want it to look unrealistic, or at least I don't in this style at least. So, I tried to paint that divot, added some wishy-washy painterly marks there, and then I very quickly am like, let me just put in highlights. I can go in and change them later. Like, let me just put in highlights. And with something this smooth, highlights again, it's like that's the whole thing. Like once the highlights are in, like bam, looks like a pepper now. So there's not really a lot to talk about with this one. I don't like the stem. I should go back in and change the stem, but I'm not going to. I'll work on something else instead. But yeah, that's my thoughts on these. So if you have any questions or comments, share. I love hearing them. Thanks.